even if it means our MLAs. It doesn't make any difference. Send a message, we're not going to keep quiet. Send a message against illegal activities. Anything to do with illegalities, send a message. Anything to do with corruption, send a message. Anything to do with looting, send a message. Only then we bring about best practices. Only then we can talk about number one policy. Only then we can talk about good governance. It requires a strong will. And I'm saying to you that I'm with you. I'm with you. Anything you do it in this purview, my blessings are totally with you. I'm totally in support of you. Bring about a change. Let this system change. So when you talk about in the villages, ensure no bell shops. Bell shop itself is a criminal word. There is no word in the dictionary as a bell shop. But in my Padayatra, when I've noticed, I've seen not one in a village, several. Clubs, gambling. And when I asked that I'm attending this meeting, I asked a few of your senior colleagues, whom I've known them well, as to what are the best practices, what should I tell the collectors, what should I tell the SPs who are coming to meet me on best practices. Few suggestions came to me, they gave me this book. And I will not quote them all, but I just quote a few of them. What I think, when practiced, will give a good name to the SPs. Now, I strongly believe in one thing. We are here by the grace of God. And when we are here, because by the grace of God and by the grace of the people, that I am here. And through me, you are all SPs. When we send a message together as one. When I say good governance, we are together as good governance. If I fail, you fail. If you fail, I fail. Tomorrow, if people are to vote for me back to power, it's only going to happen when all of us together deliver. If we don't deliver, if I don't deliver, you don't deliver, and people don't vote us out, when people vote us out, then it's failure on all our part. I've not done my job well, you've not done your job well. And ultimately the result is we've been voted out. So it's very important that we work together as one for good governance. But we work together as one to bring about this change. And when I was discussing about this change, few suggestions, what people have suggested, what I thought I'd share with you now today. A couple of them I've already told you. Friendly and transparent policy, and elaborating this friendly and transparent policy, I gave you a little bit of briefing beforehand. I said, first thing is, whenever somebody comes to you, forget about MLA, even anybody else, first thing, smile. Show your teeth. Abhishek, I want your teeth. We've got to be, we can't just be firm. You need to relax a bit. You need to be friendly with the people who come to you. They should not get a feeling that, oh my God, why should I come here? This man doesn't even care about me. No, that's not the way. The approach should be, we are here as their friends. The approach should be very friendly. The approach should be very transparent. We would have to give them the confidence because we are working them. We are working for them. So let's get one thing on our mind straight. We are not different. We are public servants. We are not public rulers. We are public servants. That includes me, the biggest public servant, and it includes all of you here also, the same. So let's always keep that in mind. Once we get this into our head, then we'll open up a bit, we'll relax a bit, we'll smile, receive them properly. That's very important. I think 50% of the problem is addressed when we receive people properly. I think that's one thing that will go a long way for the best practice. Humility is a virtue. It's something what I always learned from my father. Edige koddi odagali. As we keep growing, we've got to humble ourselves more and more. I think my father taught me well. I think being in the position that I am in today gives me a little bit of that room to advise you on that. Then you have another area, what I just spoke about, dealing with the MLAs. I think I've made myself quite clear that, we just against say no to corruption, say no to looting, say no to illegal activities. The rest of the areas, let's take them together. Let's work together. Let's have an inclusive governance. The rest of the areas. That's explicitly explained. I think you'll do well with it. To bring about, as I said, people should not sit tight. To bring about that, we've gone ahead and given weekly off. I think weekly off for police, I don't think it's anywhere in this country. Probably Bihar tried it for a while and somehow I don't think it actually went that far. But first time, weekly off for police, this is something what's coming from our governments. That is our meaning, all of us together. And we are committed to it. This weekly off would entitle the situation where we would have to be recruiting probably 20%, 25% more police into the force. We will do it. It gives emotional wellness. When somebody takes a day off, spends that time with the family, it helps. It rejuvenates the person. Because I strongly believe that it should be done. And then, God's grace, today we are implementing that. Please ensure that it is scrupulously followed. Pass a message to the lowest level of your department. Give them a break. Get in systems in place that it's scrupulously followed. The perception that police are biased, the perception that police are biased, especially this perception, especially if it is there in vulnerable sections, then I think we're doing a bad job. Especially these Dalits, these weaker sections, if these people develop this kind of a perception on police, then I think we utterly failed in our duty. Because these people have no voice. They're the poorest of the lot. These people have no voice. And if these people, if they feel that police are biased, then that is something that we need to seriously ponder. That is one thing what I ask you to just give it a little bit of thought. There in those sections, perception should change. In the police department also, have a reception area. Let's engage, even if it's going to mean recruiting people, we will recruit people. Have somebody in the front section. The moment somebody comes into the police department, let it be a reception area with a wonderful smile, receiving the complainant. It should be done. When somebody comes to lodge a complaint, it's out of distress that they're coming. It's not that, we are doing them a favor by taking the complaint. We are rendering our service. So it's very important that, you receive them well. With a smile, the receptionist receives them. Have them seated. Then a police comes. How do you see in the Western world? The police comes, talks to them, understands them, then files the case. These kind of mechanisms should have to come in place. I think all of you are youngsters, I think you can bring about this change, this transformation what was never there before. And I think Gautamanna also is wanting to bring about change, so I think they should be attempted. Friendly police. It's very important. And yesterday while I was conversing with the collectors, I was mentioning